What if Sony's most important camera of 2026 isn't the one everyone expects? What if it's the camera that hasn't even been officially revealed? That's exactly why the rumored Sony FX3 II has become one of the most discussed cinema cameras in the industry. Unlike many upcoming cameras that promise higher resolutions, more AI-powered features, or stronger hybrid capabilities, the Sony FX3 II appears to be following a different philosophy. Instead of competing in a race for bigger numbers, Sony may be concentrating on the qualities filmmakers actually notice every time they press record: faster sensor performance, cleaner motion, improved low-light capabilities, and a workflow built specifically for professional production. If these rumors prove accurate, the Sony FX3 II could become one of Sony's most important cinema line releases in years. The original FX3 earned its reputation because it wasn't designed to impress with headline specifications alone. It was created as a practical filmmaking tool. Its compact body, integrated cooling system, full-frame 12.1 megapixel sensor, excellent low-light performance, and reliable 4K recording up to 120 frames per second made it an instant favorite among documentary filmmakers, commercial videographers, wedding professionals, and independent creators. Rather than trying to balance photography and video equally, the FX3 focused almost entirely on motion capture. That clear identity helped separate it from Sony's Alpha series and gave filmmakers a camera that felt purpose-built instead of compromised. 5 years later, however, the camera market has changed dramatically. The competition has become much stronger, and expectations have evolved. Sony itself has expanded its cinema line while introducing new hybrid cameras with increasingly capable video features. Canon continues to improve professional video capabilities across its EOS R lineup. Panasonic remains one of the strongest competitors for independent filmmakers, and Nikon has become increasingly aggressive with advanced video firmware and internal RAW recording options. Against this backdrop, the Sony FX3 II faces an important challenge. It doesn't simply need to replace the original FX3. It needs to justify its existence in a market filled with capable alternatives. One of the most interesting rumors centers around the sensor itself. Instead of dramatically increasing resolution, reports suggest Sony could adopt a new 16-megapixel partially stacked full-frame sensor. At first glance, that number may disappoint photographers who associate higher megapixel counts with better cameras. For filmmakers, however, the story is very different. A lower resolution sensor designed specifically for video can provide significant real-world advantages. Faster readout speeds reduce rolling shutter, allowing quick camera movements and fast-moving subjects to appear more natural. Improved light gathering can deliver cleaner footage in challenging lighting conditions. High frame rate recording becomes more reliable, and dynamic range may improve because the sensor is optimized for motion rather than oversized still images. This philosophy reflects something many filmmakers have been saying for years. They don't necessarily want more pixels, they want better images. Resolution has reached a point where 4K satisfies the needs of most professional productions. What matters now is image quality, color accuracy, motion rendering, highlight retention, shadow detail, and overall reliability. If Sony truly prioritizes these areas, the Sony FX3 II could become significantly more valuable than a camera that simply advertises higher specifications. Another area generating considerable excitement is rolling shutter performance. One of the most common limitations of many mirrorless cameras is distortion caused by slower sensor readout. Fast pans, handheld movement, and rapidly moving subjects can all introduce unwanted artifacts. A partially stacked sensor or even more advanced sensor technology could dramatically reduce these issues. For filmmakers working on documentaries, sports coverage, live events, or handheld productions, that improvement would be immediately noticeable in everyday shooting. Perhaps the most ambitious rumor involves global shutter technology. Although there is currently no official confirmation, many filmmakers hope Sony will adapt lessons learned from its latest imaging developments to the Sony FX3 II. A global shutter sensor would virtually eliminate rolling shutter distortion while preserving natural motion during even the fastest camera movements. Combined with Sony's color science and cinema line workflow, this could make the Sony FX3 II one of the most capable compact cinema cameras ever produced. Even if Sony doesn't implement a true global shutter, improvements in readout speed alone would represent a meaningful step forward. Workflow enhancements may prove even more important than hardware specifications. Modern filmmakers increasingly value cameras that simplify production rather than adding unnecessary complexity. Across online discussions, professional creators consistently request similar features. Open gate recording appears near the top of nearly every wish list because it provides greater flexibility for multiple aspect ratios during editing. Internal RAW recording continues to attract attention for productions requiring maximum grading flexibility. Professional monitoring tools such as waveform displays, false color exposure assistance, anamorphic support, and comprehensive exposure guides remain highly requested. External SSD recording, expanded pre-record buffers, and 32-bit float audio are also becoming increasingly common expectations for professional cinema cameras. The interesting pattern is that almost none of these requests focus on resolution. Instead, filmmakers are asking Sony to remove obstacles that interrupt creative work. Every improvement that reduces setup time, minimizes external accessories, or speeds up post-production ultimately has greater value than simply increasing megapixels. That practical philosophy perfectly matches the identity that made the original FX3 so successful. Ultimately, the success of the Sony FX3 II won't be measured by how many megapixels appear on its specification sheet. It will be judged by how naturally it fits into professional productions, how dependable it remains during demanding shoots, and how effectively it allows filmmakers to concentrate on storytelling instead of technical limitations. If Sony successfully refines the strengths that made the original FX3 such a respected cinema camera while introducing meaningful improvements where professionals need them most, the Sony FX3 II could become the benchmark for compact cinema cameras once again. Instead of chasing trends, it may remind the industry that the best filmmaking tools aren't always the ones with the biggest numbers, they're the ones that quietly help creators produce their best work.